So guys, this is my weekly report for March 21st. So I'm going to tell you what I did this week. I've been really busy. I got that consulting business I opened, and I took a client, showed him how to run his electronics up at Berryessa the other day. Um, we fished for a little bit for crappie. We only caught two, but the bass bite is really good, and the trout bite's been really good. Talking to other anglers that were out there, and the trout guys are out there between Big Island and Skiers Cove, out in the middle. They're catching a lot of those Eagle Lake trout, and they're pretty good size. The bass are in 5 to 15 feet of water. The water temperature in the around 11, 12 o'clock was up to 64 on the main body. So that's just prime time for fishing. Then I was up at Comanche actually this morning with a client, Les, and showed him how to run his electronics, did the updates on him in the lot, checked everything, make sure everything was synced. Went on the water, and we were grafting trout everywhere. They're everywhere along the main channel, along the steep areas, and they were anywhere from 15 to 30 feet of water. And I do this consulting for only like a couple hours, and I get done, make sure they understand everything. And then he put me back on the dock, and then he texted me. He went back out, started grafting around. He marked some spots, went back out there, sent me a picture. It looked like around a 3 or 4 pounder. So he went right back out and he caught some fish. But anyway, other things going on. Dungeness crab season still open. You could get out there. I think it closes in June. So you could, when the weather permits, you could go out there and get into some Dungeness still. Bluefin. I heard some guys are catching them, and they're right on the other side of Rittenberg, probably 40 miles out, and they're already catching some pretty decent grade bluefin. So, all you guys who were out there last year, you need to get out there. When the weather permits, you should be out there, and you'll be catching some bluefin. So that's the only thing going on in the ocean, because there's no rock fishing right now. They're trying to settle that. They're trying to decide whether they're going to let us have a little bit of a salmon season also. But we don't know yet, but it's going to be up pretty soon. It's coming to be season here pretty soon. San Francisco Bay, there's guys catching halibut. If you want to go out there, there's no bait receivers open yet, so you're going to be trolling with tray bait. And early in the year, I would troll anyway, because you're going to cover a lot more ground. You should be in anywhere from 8 to probably 15, 20 feet of water. And go over to South Bay, and you're going to just use a spreader. You could go back and look at some of the videos I did. You're just going to run like a 3-way, and then run a dropper weight and about a 4-foot leader with tray bait, and just troll it. And if there's any around, you'll catch them. So, that's one of the things guys are starting to do now. It's going to start picking up here real quick. All the guys are still out there sturgeon fishing, and it's been really hot this last month from Suisun into Pittsburgh. They've been whacking the sturgeon. I mean, the guys are reporting catching anywhere from 10 to 20 fish a day with clients. So, the sturgeon fishing has been really good. Just make sure you read the new rules. They changed the slot limit, and they changed the number amount that you think you only could have one. So make sure you read all the rules. And, I'm sure the sturgeon are starting to move up in the Sac River. Most of those are going to be your spawners, so they're going to be oversized fish, but you could catch and release them. And I haven't been down there. I've been just too busy, but I imagine they're starting to catch them. The Sacramento River's kind of tapered off. It's still high, a little off color. It's still a little stained, which is perfect for sturgeon. So I'm sure, if you want to catch sturgeon, you can probably catch them pretty much anywhere in the system right now. Stripers, with all this high water, like I was up at Johnson's doing a seminar, and they had all the guides, Kevin Brock and a lot of the local boys that fish there all the time were drifting minnows, and they're not catching a whole lot. There's not a whole lot of fish there, so they're still down here. So the water got semi-clear. I'm sure there's guys catching them. I've heard reports guys are already catching them trolling. They're getting 6 to 10 fish trolling, and a lot of them are around Broad Slough and around on the San Joaquin side. because the water is a lot clearer. The Sacramento side's still a little off, but I'm sure the fish are going to start moving there because you can see about 8 inches. I know a couple guys that went over, fished the North Delta up in Liberty and nothing. They could see down about 8 inches, but the stripers are not there yet. So, it only takes a week of weather like this, beautiful sun, warm weather, and everything's going to go crazy. But I think we got some rain coming. And the rain's not going to bother a lot of the fish because it's not going to be a cold storm. It's going to be probably your warmer storm, so it's not going to cool your water temperature. So the stripers and bass or whatever you want to go catch, it's going to be pretty decent. I'm pretty sure it'll be on here real quick. Couple weeks, I would even go bait fishing. I did a video on that too last year. So you could go sit over here, anchor on a flat, you know, do the sliding sinker setup with a piece of sardine on there, and you could probably catch stripers. So I anticipate maybe a couple weeks from now, if we don't get any hard storms where it raises that river way up and gets muddy again, if it just rains, a little bit here and there, it'll be fine, and the fishing's gonna just bust wide open. And you could go catch the stripers on sardines right over here at Garcia Bend. So other than that, the trout fishing's been excellent. Comanche, a lot of fish in that 5 to 8 pound class, some even going as high as 12 pounds. I know Big Al is out there. I know Nate's out there. And these guys are kept putting their clients on some nice trout. They're catching limits and they're catching pretty decent sized ones. I'm sure Pardee, Amador, Collins, New Melones, you could go to any of these lakes and catch fish. I heard Sleeper last week. A guy was up at Melones, a guide, and he caught one that was 17 inches already. So that's last year. New Melones probably had some of the bigger kokanees in our area, and this year it might be the end of that spawn of those certain size kokanee, and you might see more in that 17 to 18 inch fish at New Melones. So it looks like it's going to be a good place to go. And also, if you wanted to, and it's a little bit early right now, but if you want to also go, I will go to Boulders. I've heard some decent reports, and I've heard some negative reports. But I think the guys that know how to do it, they're doing it right, are going to go out there and catch them. I'm going to be sneaking up there pretty quick here, and I want to do everything. I'm going to go stripers tomorrow. I'm going to go try little bass. I want to go to Boulders. I want to go do kings, but I'm so busy I can't hardly do anything. But the black bass, the Delta, I'm sure I'm going to get them tomorrow. I know when I was at Berryessa with the client the other day, I talked to friends that were out there. They were all catching them, and they were getting them shallow. The water in the afternoon was 64 degrees, and it's perfect for them. And I know Folsom, all your multi-load lakes, if you're a bass fisherman, you need to get out there. I know Berryessa, there's a tournament there this weekend, and guys, some of the guys were asking me, hey, what would you do? I would cover a lot of water. I would either throw chatterbaits, blades, jerk baits, square bills, and you'll catch fish, cover a lot of water. If you want to catch a lot of fish at drop shot and stuff, and you're going to come in with like 8 or 10 pounds, then put a drop shot on. But if you want to try to get that 15-pound bag, that I'd say 15 to 19 is going to win it. And it'll be on a swim bait or on some kind of blade or crank bait or jerk bait or something that's it. So, Berryessa, I even had a buddy of mine out there. I even told him I would even try throwing spoons. Crappie. I went up there crappie. I could not find anything. I mean, I caught 2. And, I was looking mainly around in the deeper water, and maybe I should have went shallower. I don't know. I tried shallower later in the day and couldn't get nothing. The king salmon. You want to go catch kings, I would tell you, don't go Berryessa. Kevin Fogle was there the other day. I think he caught 2 or 4. And if that guy only gets 2 or 4, you won't get a bite. So, I would go somewhere else where they're really catching them, like Orville and at Folsom. The king bites pretty decent there. Most guys are catching anywhere from 5 to 10 fish. And Orville's the same thing. The fish at Orville have been a little bit bigger. So if it's landlocked kings you want to go after, Trifosum or Orville. I wouldn't go to Berryessa right now. So other than that, with the way this weather is, fishing, like I said last week, it's gonna just take off. I'm gonna try to get out more. I just haven't been too busy and haven't been able to get out. I have to take care of my consulting. So anyway, you guys see me out there now. You're gonna see me in a 20-foot duckworth. You guys that are trout and kokanee fishing or king salmon, Gone Fishing Marine's gonna sponsor my uh, AFO channel, and they're gonna wrap it so it'll have Gone Fishing and it'll have my logo on the side, so you know it's me. You can just come up and say, "Hey, what's going on?" And if you're not catching any, just ask me, and I'll help you if I'm out there. So look out for that boat. And if you're looking for a boat, or you want to repair your boat, or you have electronic problems or anything like that, call Gone Fishing. And he told me, Mark Blanton's the owner, he told me to tell any of you guys that watch my videos and stuff to ask for him. So if it's something that you want to get repaired or something, call and ask for Mark. He told me to tell you guys. So that's a good way for him to find out that it's actually helping him. Also, every Saturday morning at 6:40, I'm on California Sportsman's and Ultimate Bass with Seps and Kent Brown. I'm on the air at 6:40 a.m. on 11:40 on the AM dial. And a lot of times I go in the studio. I go in the studio the first Saturday of every month, but it looks like I'm going in tomorrow, or I mean on a Saturday, because Kent's not going to be there. So I'm going to go in there and fill in for him. So, and then I give you anything new that I heard besides what I heard up to now. And then I'm going tomorrow. So that I'll report, when I get in the SEP studio. So anyway, if you guys like the video, hit that like and please subscribe, because it'll really help me out. And if you got a comment, you could leave it, and I'll usually get back to you within 2 or 3 days. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.